So this is our first episode of Science Newbies. Welcome to our first episode. And Sushobal will give an introduction of yours.
I welcome Neha Singh. She is a PhD scholar at University of Queensland and IIT Delhi Academy of Research joint program. She is also a part-time YouTube blogger on Neve on Cloud 9. She will be talking on the topic gasping for breath severity of air pollution in India. So the floor is yours, Neha. So the first we would like to get you know that what type of research and why you are doing this type of research. So if you can share and communicate in very non-technical language, then that will be great.
Thank you guys for having me here. It's such a great platform to share research to the general public. So I really appreciate what you guys are doing. So my major research area is air pollution exposure modeling and its health effects associated with it. So let me start with the very basics. So US Environmental Protection Agency has classified 6 criteria pollutants, which are ozone, lead, oxides of sulfur, oxides of nitrogen, particulate matters, and carbon monoxide. So various previous epidemiological studies have shown the relationship and the association between air pollution and the chronic respiratory and cardiovascular diseases like asthma and heart attack, ischemic heart diseases, etc. And various recent studies have seen the association of air pollution along with the child lower respiratory infections, anemia, associated with the fetal growth. And it is affecting the fetal growth, child cognitive development, and the nutrition in child. For example, you can say stunting, underweight, and all those stuff. So my major area of research, the pollutant I'm working on, is NO2 for my PhD. And like why we chose NO2, like there are few reasons behind it. First is like as previous studies have shown the association, global studies like across different part of the world. And then the second thing is the lack of data. So for India, like we only have zero point 0.5 monitor for a million population. Like per million population, we just have zero point 0.5 monitors, which is not sufficient for any kind of epidemiological studies, like which will give the biased results. So, and also there is no information on NO2 exposure over the population at a country scale for the whole of India. So, and these kind of like national scale or state scale studies are really very important in terms of like air pollution mitigation measures and policies implementation, all those. So here comes the role of satellite, because we don't have as much as ground monitors. So here comes the role of satellite. So these are the images or the plots and figures from our recently published paper. And in this paper, what we have done, we took satellite data. First, we took satellite data for NO2, that is from the UMI satellite, and then second data we took like global human settlement data, which is data for the population density. And this is this gives information where like no people lives like within a kilometer square. It tells like if the 100 people are less than 300, then it's a rural area. Greater than 300 inhabitants per kilometer square is the low density, and greater than 1500 is the high density urban. So we took these two type of data, and then we plot this climatology plot over the 15 years, like from 2005 to 2019. And we identified various NO2 hotspots over India. You can clearly see these patches, these red patches. And in this plot, we have shown various NO2 sources as well, like power plants. So the circular ones are the power plants, and the plus ones is because NO2 major. Here you can see like transportation is the biggest one of the biggest NO2 emitters. So for transportation, we consider cities for the proxy for that, and we tried to look like where are the sources and where are the higher concentrations. So these northeast Indian states, for Orissa, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, has like patch of higher levels of NO2. That is like due to they have like lot of power plants and this. So after that, what we did, like we tried to look into the trends of NO2 level over the years. So what we are seeing here from 2000 to 2009, 2005 to 2009, NO2 levels over India is drastically increasing. Everywhere it's showing the increasing trend. While when we come to 2010 to 2014, Delhi and surrounding region started showing negative trends. That's a good thing. And after that, similarly with the 2015 to 2019, the region near Delhi are showing a negative trend. But what we can see here, these regions which are dominated by the power plants, the the levels are continuously increasing over there. So after that, like we tried to look into area like population density specific areas, that what is the trend of, like what is the level of NO2 over there. So for all these four classes we plotted this, and we found like it followed the chronological path. So rural has the like lowest, and then low density urban, then the highest in high density urban. And you can see like from 2005 to 2015, in each class NO2 has increased. So that clearly suggests that NO2 over India is continuously increasing, and there is literally a need for the NO2 exposure data or epidemiological studies for further air pollution mitigation measures. So through our this study, we found that, or we established that there is a need of NO2 exposure data. And after that, like after this study, we are working on NO2 exposure data, and we are also looking into the um, health effects associated with it. And one important thing was like in 2019, a global study called Global Burden of Disease found 6.67 million deaths attributable to air pollution. So, and even in the previous GBD, Global Burden of Disease, NO2 was not included in that. Only PM and ozone were there. So due to lack of data, it is very important to have to have country scale studies to provide a brief or a clear picture so that it can help policymakers. This is what we are working on. Thank you.
Wow, it's a great work. So continuously, you also carry on the work.
Mhm.
Clearly, your work has a public health aspect. It has a direct societal benefit, and it will attract the policymaker attention in near future.
So Neha, tell us about your journey to IIT Delhi and then to University of Queensland. How has that been?
So actually, that's a very interesting story. So actually, I did my bachelor's in zoology from Delhi University, Dayal Singh College, and then I had that biology background, not in engineering. Then after that, I did my master's in environmental sciences from Kurukshetra University. Now and then I finished my master's in 2018. So 2018, I was looking for the PhD opportunities because I had that net and I wanted to pursue a PhD. So I interviewed, I got interviewed in IIT Roorkee, but I wasn't got it the position there. Then I was like kind of sad or depressed, but it's always there that if something there is something better for you. Then after just few months, I got an opportunity to work with WHO in Delhi office along with the Sri Ramchandra University, Chennai. So I was working in WHO office in Delhi. So what was my work there? I was working on personal exposure monitoring, uh, air pollution exposure monitoring inside the WHO premises, like the personal exposure of their employees and things. So this was I was working on, and then For that, like for census calibration, we used to go to IIT. So I had few friends there. So I heard from someone then that there is a program which is called UQ-IITD Integrated PhD Program. So I was like, oh, was it? What is it? So they told me about that. Oh, applications are open now, and I was like, no, no, no. I always feel like because we feel like IIT is very tough to get into it. So I was like, oh, I think this is not something for me. And then like my partner, he encouraged me, no, no, you should apply it at least. Like you cannot backhand say, oh no, it's not for me. So then I applied, and for the God's grace, I got it. And like I think various applicants was there, but I got selected. So I'm really very happy about that. So, and after that, like it's a program. So where when like you have to spend some time in IIT Delhi and some time in Australia, University of Queensland. So you will get a scholarship accordingly as well.
So tell us what you feel like, what are the similarities between both the universities and what is the differences? Like, what do you feel at both the universities?
So what I feel is like both the institutions or universities are best at its own. Like we got the exposure for the best university across the globe, and for IIT Delhi, everyone knows, and for UQ, let me if I tell you, like it's like top 50 ranking institution for the QS ranking or other ranking. So it's really good, and like culture wise. Work culture in both the universities are very different. And when I first came to IIT, I was like I saw like first time people working so late. It's like 24 hours you can access your lab, you can go anytime you want to work. Because I'm not kind of morning person, I cannot come like early in the morning and work. So for me it's always like, oh yeah, I can work late up to at 3 a.m or something like that. So that I really enjoyed in IIT. That's really great. But here in Australia, it's completely opposite. It's like people used to come early in the morning, as early as 6 or 7 a.m., and they also leave early, like maybe by 4 there is no one, like after 4 there is no one. So this working hour thing is very different in the both institution. Apart from that, like colleagues are in both the institution, they are very good, they're very supportive, they're help, because research is something which is like which you can do by sharing only. It's not something study that you have read and you passed a paper and you are good to go. No, research is something like you have to communicate, you have to collaborate, you have to talk to people. So that's good. And you can get these type of communication conversation you can only get in such good institutions. So I can quickly show you like what you have to search. You can simply type UQ-IITD. Maybe it will come. Yeah, it's there. So this is it. You can simply go onto their website, UQ-IITD, like UQDR PhD program, and then you can go to apply. And actually there are like two type of intake. One is for the Indian students and other is for the Australian students. So for an Indian student, it's like they have to spend 3 years in IIT Delhi, 1 year in UK, and opposite for the Australians, they have to spend 3 years in UK and 1 year in IIT Delhi. So this is how you can go, and you can see the all the admission process. And admission is like it's similar to the general PhD in IIT. So they take admissions like twice in a year. It's once, I think one application open in April and another one in September or October. So you can check that in detail. And yeah, you can also find like all the current PhD students by saying like maybe my name, or if someone else you want or you want to search, so it's like you can get it. So that's me.
Okay, that's great. So Neha, we have now some fun game for you. So the name of this game is Keywords Are the Keys. We have some hints and you have to identify the word. And once you click on this button, the word will appear and we will see that if you are correct or not. So let's
Oh, so
start.
it's kind of a jumble word thing.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm very bad in games. Hope so.
It's very
I'll do
easy.
better.
Very easy. So
Okay,
just try.
so first one is like a top down, and it's written like an artificial body placed in the orbit round the Earth or Moon or another planet in order to collect information for the communication. Oh, yeah, it's easy. It must be satellite.
Yes, it's that.
Yes.
Oh, cool. And the second one is Australia is called land of good environment.
It's animal.
Kangaroos.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, so third one is the across. So it's the study and the analysis of distribution, patterns, determinants of health and disease condition in defined population. So it's something related to population, disease, and distribution. And it's a study. Is it epidemiological studies?
Yes, 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 absolutely correct.
Oh, whoa. I'm not bad in games. I can say after this. So, place in Mahabharata. There are a lot of it must be Kurukshetra, is it?
Yes,
Yes, it's
yes.
Whoa, I'm good at it. Invisible mixture of gases that surrounds the earth. So, gases that surrounds the earth. And it's a letter of three. It starts with A. Mm-hmm. Gases. Oh, it must be simple. Air.
yes, it's
Yes,
there.
yes.
Whoa. And the last one, it's also a three-digit thing. Reddish brown gas harmful for asthma. Oh, it's NO2.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Wow, great.
Whoa. It's actually related to, yeah,
It's all
what we're
Oh,
related to your
doing.
research study.
Yeah, you guys have done a great job.
then we have another game for you. Uh, it's called, we call it Researcher Rapid Roundup. So the
Mhm.
trend is RRR. So it's
Okay.
along with that way.
Mhm.
So the first one for you is that one word to describe yourself.
One word. Um, Enthusiastic or maybe creative too.
That
First day at my lab, yeah, I remember when I reached for the first time at IIT Delhi, everyone was working so hard. Like all the screens were codes, and I was like, this seems so typical whether I'll be able to do it or not. But finally, I'm at this stage now.
First
then
meeting with your guides.
Oh, I like my Australian supervisor. He was in Australia, so first like I met my Indian supervisor for the first time, and I remember I was listening one of his talks, and I was like, he's so knowledgeable. I need to think thousands of times before speaking a single word in front of him, literally. And like my Australian supervisor, he came to India when I joined. Like after 2 to 3 months, he came to discuss my research plan and everything. So he is very cool. He's literally so cool.
then the fourth one is the person you admire most.
Oh yeah, it's good that you mentioned persons because I have many. So first is my grandfather. After that, like my father, and then my husband or my partner and my brothers.
Usual ways to spend weekend.
So I love to eat and try different things a lot. So in India, what I used to do, like we used to go and eat something, and then sometimes we also go like short trips to like just nearby Delhi or something like that, and meeting friends as well. But here it's completely different because I right now I'm in Australia as part of my PhD. So here it's quite different because we just have 1 year, we have to explore everything, we have to do work. So here, what I used to do, I usually explore. We go to beaches or city or try different stuff. This is what I do.
Where people can see you most apart from in your lab.
People can see me on Instagram,
Wow.
and then yeah, I actually love to capture the memories and post it so they can. And after that, like they can see me in my lab because right now I have a lot to do. And other than that, eating places, particularly like sweet shop.
So the hard time in your journey so far.
Hard time. Yeah, because PhD is a journey, and you always have good times and bad times. And the most worst part it when you are working on some problem or maybe some objective or something, and after 50s of hundreds of step you found like, oh, it's not working out, the results are not coming, it's in opposite direction or something like that. That's the most depressing part. I just felt it literally 20 days ago, and I just went, we have a park, Victoria Park. It's a big like park in front of the uni. I just went there and laid down on the grasses and thinking for 2 hours, oh my god, why. And then I was like, no, it's part of it. Then I talked to my colleagues here. They were like, oh, it's part of the PhD. Yeah, then I just overcome it. I literally took 2 to 3 days.
What you missed out most in being a researcher?
hmm Uh, so maybe people think PhD is so tough, and it could be if you don't have, good supervisors. It could be very difficult. But for me, for my PhD journey is really very beautiful. So I don't really think like something missing out if I am a researcher. But like right now I'm in Australia and I'm missing my family a lot.
Any suggestions for us for our channel?
It's really a very great initiative because we know like we do research but we don't share, we just go to conferences, we share it. But for the general public it's very important to communicate your research so that people will know what you are doing and what is the implications. So it's really a very good idea. I really appreciate what you guys are doing. You're putting efforts into it, and I'm seeing like you're literally making an effort to reach it out to the general public. So that's really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
So
thank
the
you.
next session we have some of your photographs and you have
Mhm.
to recall the memories related with that photograph. So do you remember
Oh,
these pics?
oh my God, you guys literally did your homework. Yeah, so that's like my first day when for the first time, like as a PhD student, when I went to IIT Delhi. So I just clicked the selfie. Oh, I need a picture with the logo. So that's my first day. And other picture that is like my first day in UQ. So I clicked that picture. That's really close to my heart. Like those first days, and then time just flies.
Yes. So another picture is this.
Oh, oh my God, you also have this. So like the left one. So these are like the one in the black coat. He's my Indian supervisor. He's Professor Sagnik Day from Center for Atmospheric Sciences, IIT Delhi. So he's my primary supervisor, and he's really the one I was saying. Like he's really very knowledgeable, and the another one sitting next to me, he's my Australian supervisor. So both of my supervisors, they're really very good, and they really know like how to train a PhD student and how to how to help them on the basic level, because they know PhD students are the freshers. And so I sometimes one incident was I was working on something, and my code was like I was just running some problem, and it was not solving hours and hours. I just it was evening sometimes, and here in Australia people generally don't work like after 4. But I just called my Australian supervisor and I was like, oh, it's not running. He just literally came on the Zoom and then he rectified the problem. So that level of help if you will get from your supervisor, you're at your
Truly
PhD
blessed.
life will be easy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So
this picture, the second one.
yeah.
This is from your
So
lab.
yeah, so that's like our IITD lab, Professor Sagnik's lab. So I think for the first time, like me for the first time celebrated Diwali at labs. So we did all the decoration. We also had rangoli. It was Get Cut. So we made rangoli. We did all the decorations, and then we did puja after that as well. And I remember that. those lights shown you about that. So that was really
Yeah.
cute. It's not showing like it's a star shaped, very cute lights. Uh, so
What about this?
left
Yes.
bottom is the one like it was freezing cold winter days in Delhi,
Delhi.
and
Yes.
we were working on some because Professor Sagni has a lot of projects ongoing and he used to work on low cost monitors as well. So what we did, we were calibrating some low cost monitors along with the reference monitor. So we were placing all those structures, preparations. So we all team were doing that, and we got this photograph. This is also nice. And the one in the like bottom right, so this is from UQ. So I remember like yeah, it's 2022 year, like end of the year T, to to gather all the UQ students, and so that they can have discussion with the dean and all. So we also have like back in there we have supervisors as well, so everyone was invited so that they can come and they can meet and greet all those.
Wow.
So
Oh,
this is your
my
first
God, you have this
publication.
as well. Yeah. So my first publication just came early this year. So this was the day when it got published, and I was so happy. So I just told my colleagues here in the lab that, oh, it's my first publication. Then they were like, oh, you should create a memory. You should print it and click a photograph, because it's first will be always first. So I was so happy. So I just get it clicked, and then we went out. We had some sweets, and we tried something, some food and stuff. And then here on the left bottom, so when I joined PhD, so what Professor Sagnik do, like when any paper comes, whether his students, on any of his collaboration, he used to put it on social media like Facebook and Twitter to to communicate to the larger audience. So till that time, when I saw it for the first time, I was like, oh, I when will my paper come and Professor Sagni will share it like that. So it's a feeling which is very close to you. So I was just waiting for that day since very long, and finally when it came and he put it, so I just, oh, I need a snapshot, and I should we go, yeah. And that one on the left up, so that's like COVID times. So generally we see a lot of people roaming around in IIT Delhi, but here it's like very few, just one guy is, I can see just one. So it's like those COVID times when we were not allowed to, like when all of us will not have allowed to go. So it was like our supervisor, because we used to work on satellite data, high computing facilities. So we used to access the lab for working. So what our supervisor has done, like he said, you should come on the in different times. So if you're coming for 2 to 4, then another person should come at another time, so that at a particular time in the lab there should be just one or something, two people, not more than that. So that time I remember I used to wear anything casual, my sneakers on, and then I'm ready to go. Yeah, that's that day. Oh, so you have like different photographs for all letters of my word. That's really
Yes. Yes.
thoughtful.
Yes.
Oh,
So,
I
what
remember
is the
this.
memory behind this?
So here in Australia, Faculty of Medicine, University of Queensland, they used to have symposiums, and so I presented like my research in 3 minutes. It was like a lightning talk, and just boom, you just have to give a sneak peek to audience like what you are doing. So I just shared that, and the interesting part is like I got the prize for that as well. So these are the right picture have all the winners of that symposium. So I was one of them. I got People's Choice Award for the presentation, and as well as some cash prize as well.
Great. Great. What about this?
Oh, so I generally uh,
You are from a geology background, I know. But
yeah. So I literally like wildlife. Where the lady you are saying here with the python, I was asking, please give it to me the whole, and she was like, no, you just can touch it and then we can get a photo click, but you cannot take the whole. Then I was like, okay, that is also fine. And this one with the kangaroo, because like as you said, Australia is a land of kangaroos. When I came, I used to think like we used to see kangaroos very often, but when I came, there was no. So I asked people, then they were like, oh, they will not roam around on the roads or something, so you have to go forest or maybe some island or something like that. So we visited North Stradbroke Island, so where I saw the first kangaroo, and I was like, oh, I need a photograph. But the best thing about Australia, they don't they don't uh, they
Disturb the
all of
wildlife.
yeah, they don't disturb, and they have like their own space, even everyone, like human, animal, no one interferes anyone. That's really unique. So that's
Any memory behind it? Because you got a prize. It's a prestigious, outstanding
yes.
student presentation award.
So
So
last year, in 2022 December, I visited US for the conference, that is American Geophysical Union. This is like one of the biggest conference in our field, with the capacity of 25,000 to 30,000 people. So I presented my research via a poster in the conference, and for that poster, like after 20 days, I came back. I got a notification that you got the outstanding student presentation award for the poster, and along with the cash prize. So yeah, this is really nice.
And the last one.
Oh, so yeah, this is also from the AGU. So they had like all the fun, fun booths, fun palettes. So it was like in that thank you board, they have that signboard, text box. So in each text box, you can take the marker and write like your memory and what you're liking about, or maybe it could be your first AGU like mine or whatever the memory. So it will be like inventorized for the AGU. Yeah. AG was fun.
okay, so as the poster itself says, thank you science. So we all want to thank science and the scientists who are doing science, because every day we are cultivating science. So today also we take the please to have more and more cultivation of science. But at the same time, we also believe that science is not finished until it is not communicated. So thank you, Neha. For if someone want to contact you, that then what is the best way to contact you regarding any future research or means whatever you are doing? If someone is interested to know.
So, like, the best way to communicate with me is through email. And if you search like my name and UQ-IITD or maybe UQDAR, you will get my email and you can always email me. And second, you can maybe find like send me a message on LinkedIn.
And any suggestion for us, like
So, guys, I really appreciate what you are doing, and thank you so much for having me here and sharing my research journey with the larger audience. As you very well said, like science is not finished until it's communicated. So, it's very important to communicate what we are doing as a researcher, as a community, and so it's really important. And I really appreciate what you guys are doing. Keep doing the good work. Well done.
thank
Thank you.
you, and all the best for your future research and also the journey beyond the research. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Thank you. See you soon in India.
Yeah.
Thank you.